She ran against an incumbent state school superintendent and won. News on 6's Emery Bryan joins us live with more. Emery?
Well, Hofmeister's political career started with a run against Janet Barisi in a race that was loaded with controversy over Common Core and whether the state ought to dictate what local schools can do. The race in 2014 was between Janet Barisi and Joy Hofmeister. Barisi was a first-term superintendent of public instruction who had become very unpopular with educators. Hofmeister owned a tutoring business and used her teaching background to win support and take the Republican primary and then the general election against a Democrat.
It is important that we work with experts at setting standards.
Her victory that year was the start of 2 terms marked with political conflicts at the state capitol. She faced charges over campaign finance law violations, but the charges were all dropped. Teachers walked out of classrooms over funding as she supported the movement. Lately, she's been at odds with Governor Stitt over how schools should handle the pandemic.
We arguably face the greatest challenge in education in modern history.
A union rep says many teachers will support Hofmeister's run.
Educators have been blowing up my phone ever since it came out publicly, just beyond excited.
Local Republicans have a different take, saying they're not surprised by the move or disappointed she will no longer be registered Republican. They say she doesn't stand a snowball's chance of winning. Hofmeister will again be trying to unseat an incumbent Republican, this time by running as a Democrat.
I can work with anyone, but I'm going to represent Oklahomans regardless of their party, and we're going to make sure that we get back to common sense.
Now, in the 2018 election, they weren't running against each other, of course, but 687,000 people voted for Joy Hofmeister, while 644,000 people voted for Governor Stitt. Of course, in that measure, she would have a lead, but both, of course, have substantial support in statewide races. Emery Bryan, Oklahoma's own News on 6.